Disclaimer: I suggest to turn on subtitles because I am reading with a lot of mistakes, so yeah, sorry about that. But anyways, yeah, enjoy the video. Lithuania. In Lithuanian, that would be Lietuva. Officially, the Republic of Lithuania is a country in the Baltic region of Europe. Lithuania is considered to be one of the Baltic states. The country is situated along the southeastern shore of the Baltic Sea, to the east of Sweden and Denmark. It is bordered by Latvia to the north, Belarus to the east and south, Poland to the south, and Kaliningrad Oblast, a Russian exclave, to the southwest. Lithuania has an estimated population of 2.8 million people as of 2019, and its capital and largest city is Vilnius. Other major cities are Kaunas and Klaipėda. Lithuanians are Baltic people. The official language, Lithuanian, is one of only two living languages in the Baltic branch of the Indo-European language family, the other being Latvian. Lithuania, Belarus, Ukraine, and parts of Poland and Russia were the territories of Grand Duchy. With the Lublin Union of 1569, Lithuania and Poland formed a voluntary two-state personal union and the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. The Commonwealth lasted more than 2 centuries until neighboring centuries systematically dismantled it from 1772 to 1795, with the Russian Empire annexing most of Lithuania's territory. As World War I neared its end, Lithuania's Act of Independence was signed on 16 February 1980, declaring the founding of the modern Republic of Lithuania in the midst of the Second World War. Lithuania was first occupied by the Soviet Union and then by Nazi Germany. As World War II neared its end and the Germans retreated, the Soviet Union reoccupied Lithuania. On 11th March 1990, a year before the formal dissolution of the Soviet Union, Lithuania became the first Baltic state to declare itself independent, resulting in the restoration of the independent state of Lithuania. Lithuania is a high-income and advanced economy with a very high Human Development Index, a very high standard of living, and performs favorably in measurements of civil liberties, press freedom, internet freedom, democratic governance, and peacefulness. Lithuania is a member of the European Union, the Council of Europe, Eurozone, Schengen Agreement, NATO, and OECD. It is also a member of the Nordic Investment Bank and a part of Nordic-Baltic cooperation of Northern European countries.
Here we go.
Lithuania is a country in the Baltic region of Europe, the most populous of the Baltic states. Lithuania has 262 kilometers of coastline and consisting of the continental coast and the Karelian Spit coast. Lithuania's major warm water port of Klaipėda lies at the narrow mouth of Karelian Lagoon, a shallow lagoon extending south to Kaliningrad and separated from the Baltic Sea by Karelian Spit, where Kuršių Nerija National Park was established for its remarkable sand dunes. The Neman River and some of its tributaries are used for internal shipping. In 2000, 89 island ships carried 900,000 tons of cargo, which is less than 1% of the total goods traffic. Situated between 56.27 and 53.53 latitude and 20.56 and 26.50 longitude, Lithuania is glacially flat except for morainic hills in the western uplands and eastern highlands no higher than 300 meters. The terrain is marked by numerous small lakes and swamps, and a mixed forest zone covers over 33% of the country. The growing season lasts 169 days in the east and 202 days in the west, with most farmland consisting of sandy or clay loam soils. Limestone, clay, sand, and gravel are Lithuania's primary natural resources, but the coastal shelf other perhaps 1,600,000 of oil deposits in the southeast could provide high yields of iron ore and granite. According to some geographers, the geographical midpoint of Europe is just north of Lithuania's capital, Vilnius. Now for some landmarks. Gediminas Tower, Lithuanian Gedimino pilies bokštas, is the remaining part of the upper castle in Vilnius, Lithuania. The first wooden fortifications were built by Gediminas, Grand Duke of Lithuania. The first brick castle was completed in 1949 by Grand Duke Vytautas. The three-floor tower was rebuilt in 1933 by Polish architect Jan Borowski. Some remnants of the old castle have been restored, guided by archaeological research. It is possible to climb to the top of the hill on foot or by taking a lift. The tower houses a museum exhibiting archaeological findings from the hill and the surrounding areas. The museum has models of Vilnius, castles from the 14th to the 17th centuries, armament and iconographic material of Old Vilnius. Gediminas Tower is an important state and historic symbol of the city of Vilnius and of Lithuania itself. It was depicted on the former national currency, the litas, and is mentioned in numerous Lithuanian patriotic poems and folk songs. The flag of Lithuania was rehoisted atop the tower on October 7th, 1988, during the independence movement that was finalized by the Act of the Re-establishment of the State of Lithuania on March 11, 1990. A reconstruction of the Royal Palace of Lithuania was completed in 2009 and is located near the base of the hill upon which Gediminas Tower stands. There are also other landmarks with a great history, such as Trakai. Island Castle, Lithuanian Trakų salos pilis, is an island castle located in Trakai, Lithuania. On an island in Lake Galve, the construction of the stone castle was begun in the 14th century by Kęstutis, and around 1409 major works were completed by his son Vytautas the Great, who died in this castle in 4030. Trakai was one of the main centers of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, and the castle held great strategic importance. Soviet communists restored the castle and established the Trakai History Museum there. There are lots of places that has history behind it. Park of Europe, Three Crosses, Rambinas, Hill of Crosses, and so on. Landscapes. Kernavė is the picturesque site of one of Lithuania's largest known ancient settlements that is believed to have been the first known capital of Lithuania. It's worth visiting year-round due to the Museum of Ancient Lithuanian History, but the castle mounds are at their most picturesque in spring and summer. In summer, they are also home to a live anthropological event at which scientists and reenactors show visitors what life at Kernavė may have looked like hundreds of years ago. Palanga and Šventoji. Palanga and the nearby town of Šventoji are rather similar to the Curonian Spit, but the seaside landscape they encompass lacks the tall sand dunes that set Nida apart. The area is beautiful, nonetheless, and offers more amenities and activities that can be found in Neringa, and it doesn't require a fair trip or entrance fee to access. Druskininkai and Dainava. Forest Druskininkai is a spa resort town, or the banks of the Nemunas River in southern Lithuania, whose name arises from its mineral springs. Druska equals salt. If you're not looking for a spa vacation, Druskininkai is also surrounded by Dainava forest, which is Lithuania's largest. This combination of pristine nature and relaxing health establishments have made the city a popular and worthwhile tourist destination. Plateli. Like whether you're looking for a beautiful nature or a fun place to spend a summer weekend, Plateli Lake, one of the deepest and widest in Lithuania, is a great destination. In the summer, visitors can rent sailboats, canoes, or kayaks, or a bike around the lake. Numerous local legends revolve around the lake, the town on its coast, and the 7 islands it contains, one of which was once home to a Lithuanian castle. Traditions. Lithuanians have interesting traditions. The ones like the night that the animals talk, and the ones like chasing away winter with pancakes. So let's get into them. Lithuanians have their own special way of celebrating the night before Christmas, which we call kūčios. While we wait together with the rest of the Christian world, the birth of infant Jesus for Lithuanians this night also remains connected to ancient archaeological traditions and the winter solstice. To this day, it is customary for Lithuanians to celebrate Christmas Eve with their families. Straw is laid on the table, which is then covered with a white tablecloth. Perhaps the most important detail is that the meal must contain 12 meatless dishes. It is important to taste each one so that the coming year is filling and successful. At Kūčios, it is important to remember family members who have passed away. A plate is set for them at the table and is left filled for their spirits overnight. Lithuanians believe that animals speak on Christmas Eve, so they used to bring them some food from the table. Various traditional games are still played on Christmas Eve. For example, after the dinner, whoever pulls the longest straw from under the tablecloth will live the longest. Another traditional game involves the unmarried young woman present standing near the main door and throwing a shoe onto the threshold. If your shoe lands pointing at the door, you will soon marry, but if it is pointing inward, the young men will walk past your home. To this day, it is customary, before Kūčios, to pay your debts and make amends with anyone with whom you have been angry. Chasing away winter with pancakes. Winter, winter, run away. For hundreds of years, we have chased winter away, usually in February. Užgavėnės, or Shrove Tuesday, is an old holiday celebrated on the last meat-eating day before Easter. In older times in Lithuania, it was a feast dedicated to fertility, safety, and abundance. These ancient traditions have survived to our times. On Užgavėnės, groups of masked costume characters can still be seen marching through the streets, and we eat pancakes because it's believed that if you don't eat plenty of rich food that day, you will be hungry all year. An excellent place to celebrate Užgavėnės is at the Lithuanian Ethnographic Museum at Rūmiškės, where the largest Užgavėnės monster, the More, is lit on fire. Now for some traditional food. Cepelinai, in English, zeppelins. Starting off with Lithuania's national dish, cepelinai are large dumplings made of mixture of raw and cooked potato dough that is filled with pork and dosed in a ladle of a sour cream and bacon sauce. Though originally called didzikuli, the name was changed to zeppelini in the 20th century because of their resemblance to Zeppelin airships. Fried bread, in Lithuanian, kepta duona. Fried bread, or kepta duona, is Lithuanian dark rye bread that been fried in oil seasoned with garlic and salt and served with cheese sauce. Fried bread is frequently eaten as a snack to accompany beer and its favorite comfort food that brings back warm memories for many Lithuanians. Chilled borscht, or šaltibarščiai. Served seasonally, this beetroot and kefir soup is accompanied by hard-boiled eggs and boiled potatoes. Notably, chilled borscht is a shocking color of bright pink and is an indicator that warm weather has arrived in Lithuania. That's all of the information about Lithuania I had. Again, sorry for my reading. But anyways, thank you for listening and watching, and don't forget to wash your hands and stay home safe.